Oh, goody, goody, goody! You guys do exist now! And looking better than ever, I must say. Say, pal, you mind designing me my own pleasure palace? We need a lot of room and a big swimming pool. Aquarium would be nice too. We gotta stock some fish. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And now we're going to take a look at a Constructicon. And again, it's one that we did cover last month. We did cover a while back, I should say. It wasn't last month. But we're looking at the Constructicon Leader Scrapper. And of course, like with the original, we're going to compare, like with the previous video from last week. We're going to show you both the modern version from Studio 86 and the Generation 1 version, so you can see them side by side. Now, while the Studio version of Scrapper here is being sold at a Voyager class price, he is actually the height of a deluxe figure. Apparently, he was done this way so that way he will have a ratcheted ankle joint for when you've merged them all together to be Devastator. So that'll be nice, but it also means that they sacrificed his ability to turn here at his hips. So we do lose a point of articulation for the current toy, but we will have an additional one for the combined toy. That I'm kind of mixed about. I will admit to that. I will admit to being mixed on it, but you know, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, folks, because we don't have all 6 Constructicons yet, so let's wait and see how it looks when they all come out, and we'll make a full decision. Now, one thing that many of you will notice when you buy Scrapper is that he does not have the super wing that the Generation 1 version does. The super wing will apparently be coming in the set with Hook and Long Haul. They'll be sold as a Commander set. And apparently it will combine with his vehicle mode so that we can still recreate that look. We'll have to try to remember to look at that later when we do have it. Alright, and now for a little bit of background on Scrapper, especially for those of you who missed the original video. But of course, if you want to see that, keep an eye up in that corner, and it'll eventually turn up. Generation 1 Scrapper was released back in 1985, and he was also available in 1986. Scrapper is defaultly the leader of the Constructicons, though his specific role is listed as Construction Engineer. So he specializes in designing the various structures and whatnot that he and the other Decepticons would use. According to the lore from the More Than Meets the Eye guidebooks, Scrapper and Hook were the ones that Megatron debated on as to which one would be the appropriate leader of the Constructicons. He chose Scrapper over Hook due to the fact that Hook is a perfectionist and a bit of a snob, whereas Scrapper is extremely modest. So obviously, Scrapper can be goaded into things by stoking his desire for attention. So, alright, now we'll move the Generation 1 toy out of the way. And we should take a look at Scrapper's accessories here. We're going to start with the black gun. This will be his laser pistol. And it's unfortunately does not bear much resemblance to the original, Although it does have this lower protrusion down here at the bottom. But otherwise it has been radically redesigned. So, a little disappointed in that. I would have liked it to be closer, but I'll live with it. And then we have two other cannons. We have this larger purple one. And then we also have this smaller cannon. But as an added bonus, you can combine these two together, and they will form, not only do they form a big gun for Scrapper to wield here, but this is also intended to be the solar energy beam rifle that is used by Devastator. So I guess instead of getting the wing, we get the gun. But of course, if you were around for the Generation 1 era, the gun originally came with Mixmaster. So I wonder what Mixmaster will do differently this time. But oh well, we'll separate these for the time being. And then now we'll take a look at Scrapper's articulation. As we've already mentioned, it will be less than normal. You can turn his head from side to side, and he can look up and down a bit thanks to a ball joint. You can raise his arms at the shoulder, about so far. And they do rotate to a degree. You have to lean them out to allow them to rotate, because they don't rotate straight. Excuse me. Plus you also got to watch out for the blade. You can bend his arms at the elbow 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe battle grip. Due to the earlier stated modification, he does not have a swivel at his waist, so no dance moves from him. You can, though, spread his legs out into a full split. He does have a thigh cut. A pretty decent one at that. You can raise his legs at the hip just about 90 degrees, and you can bend his legs at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, the missing articulation, well, that kind of depends on how you want to pose him, but I think maybe in the long run we may get better with Devastator because of it. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, let's transform Scrapper. Straighten that arm out, and then first of all we open up this panel here on his chest, and you will fold his head inside like so, and then close the chest back up. You'll then come down here to his hands, and you're going to fold the hands inwards. Now, once that is done, you will then fold the arms at the elbow joint backwards. It is a little stiffer than the front way, so do be cautious. Then once they're in like that, you will press the arms inwards at the shoulders. Then once you've done that, then you can turn him around and then line up the lower portion of his arms with some holes along the side of the body to secure him together fully. Then next we will come down here to his legs and press his legs together. Then we're going to come up here and we're going to stretch out the shovel. And then we will fold the whole unit down. There is a little post here, and that will connect onto his back. And this little green piece here will fold up and lay it down against the body. And we'll come back here and we'll turn the driver's compartment around like so. Then we will come back here, and this section in here of his legs we're going to fold upwards like so, and then completely fold it all the way down. Once you have then done that, you will then take his feet, fold them so that the heels then touch onto his legs, and then fold these units all the way beneath him. And then once you have done that, you will have him in his alternate mode. His alternate mode has long been listed as a payloader, but it does bear some resemblance to the Caterpillar 966C. It does roll relatively decently on this table. And here, of course, is how he looks next to his Generation 1 counterpart. But, of course, let's also not forget we can have some fun with the weapons. If you only want him to have his gun, well, there is a little tab on the right-hand side of his gun, and it can be plugged into one of these slots here on the back, and he can just carry that into battle. But if you want all the guns on, you can place the little black one into the side of this big purple gun. And then it also has a post that will fit in a hole along the side there. And then the other one, it has a hole on the right hand side that can attach to this post over here. And well, while it may not be the Super Wing from the Generation 1 era, it doesn't look too bad. It looks more battle ready this time. So now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of Scrapper? I kind of like how Scrapper has turned out. I mean, sure, it's a little bulkier than the Generation 1 version, but it does look better in vehicle mode. So, I mean, we get some nice, we get an actual ladder that you could imagine drivers would climb up on, whereas on the original toy, it's very clearly his arms. So the designing has certainly improved in nearly 40 years' time. And as this one is now designed to look like how he did in the cartoon, specifically the 1986 film, he does look rather good. Again, the vehicle mode, it's a mixed bag, I'll give it that, but I also want to reserve some of my judgment due to the fact that some of these changes were done to accommodate Devastator. And since we don't have Devastator at the moment, it's a little hard to fully fault Scrapper for those changes. We should wait and see the final result. And hopefully, with a little bit of luck, we will get to do that here on this channel. At any rate, that's my review of the Studio 86 version of Scrapper. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you love the content we feature on this channel, I would appreciate a like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.